Hi friends, this is Emily at the Coloring Oasis. Thank you so much for being here today. Welcome if you're new and welcome back if you are already a subscriber. Very happy and excited to do a product box opening, testing, demo, and attempted coloring in 2 different books and on 1 Etsy printable so we can test on different papers these gorgeous CretaColor Mega Jumbo colored pencils. I have never tried to make a pencil before, so this will be a fun experiment and you will get to see it on camera. And I will also test these mega pencil sharpening in my 2 different sharpeners that are just standard sharpeners, and we will see if they work, and if not, we have another problem, but we will find out as we go. So before I proceed, please subscribe if you can, and or put a happy face or a thumbs up or something in the comments, which helps me get more seen with the time and effort I put into these videos. I really appreciate it. So first thing I want to do is talk about these pencils. So there are 36 mega colored pencils by CretaColor. It's an Austrian company. So very nice quality, European. They have an approximate 6.4 millimeter core, and they are more of a slightly waxy pencil, soft blend for layers and blending. They're supposed to be able to do both, so we shall see. And I paid about $60 to $64 is what you can find them for on Amazon for the 36 set. They had also, I believe, a set in the teens and 20s, so that you can also get a set in the 40 range and the 20 range. However, even 36 isn't that many, so I feel it was worth to get the largest set, which I did. So this is how it comes when you receive it in the mail. Packaged like this. It's very heavy, so these pencils must be giant considering there are only 36. They are known to be highly pigmented and opaque with really bold colors. Made for bigger strokes and covering bigger surfaces. Perfect for multiple kinds of papers, mixed media papers, colored pencil papers. So good for combining with other materials, but we're gonna straight up test it on, I have an autumn page I want to work on in Nocturnes, which is by Ellie Coldereva, and I have a book here by Sally Berry, Cozy Autumn. This is an Amazon printed book. I want to try it on. And I also have this gorgeous printable by Art of Leela from Etsy, which I actually printed in the sepia. When you buy the printable, you can get the dark, the gray, light, and the sepia. I've never done a sepia picture before. I have no clue how it's going to look, so I'm excited to try it. And this is on my very favorite Nina paper, which from Amazon, which is great for almost all medias except for the really water-based inks and water blending. So colored pencils, particularly markers, gel pens, that kind of thing. So I also have here my Cum, K-U-M, European stainless steel sharpener, which has a mega hole, so to speak. And I don't ever use this, but I haven't used it yet, but I purchased it because it's highly recommended, and I can carry it around and take a few mini coloring books with me and a little pack of pencils when I go babysit my grandson or something like that. I also have my absolute favorite Jar-to-Link automatic recharging sharpener, which I will try on these mega pencils as well. I've only ever used this for my normal colored pencils. This is particularly for colored pencils. Absolutely brilliant. I keep it on the 3 setting, which I find is the best for colored pencils. I've only had to ever charge this twice since I got it 3 months ago. So it probably lasts 6 weeks before you have to charge it, and it charges in just a couple hours. You plug it into a USB, wherever that is. Yeah, on the back here. You can put batteries in, but honestly, like, I cannot believe the battery life on this thing. It's amazing. So anyway, we're going to try the pencils on that. So let's get started and opening these gorgeous what does that say? I can't read the cursive. Brevillers, CretaColor, I guess. I've actually been to Austria. I do not speak German, so when I went to Europe for 3 weeks, the year that it had turned 2020, and took my 9-year-old son, and we went all through Austria, We went through 9 countries, but we did go through Austria. We went to Vienna, Salzburg, which was my favorite, Schönbrunn Palace, things of that nature. If only I had the energy and courage to do that again with all the viral plagues out there these days. Gorgeous, as you can see by the shine, very shiny tin, extremely heavy. So I'm going to open this and get a little leverage. And the lid is attached. It does not come off, which is fine. Just something to be aware of. Gorgeous engraving inside. Urban and Sachs. Brevillier.com. All in German. CretaColor, passion for pencils. They give you some, each color can be covered with another one to achieve subtly different tones, bright, dark, glowing, or subdued. Give you some coloring tips in here. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Other products. I did see they have a metallics set, which I do not have. And covered in a plastic, well, they're in a plastic bag. Well, that's a first. I wish they would all do that. It keeps them from bopping all around all over the place. Ooh, hello. There's cellophane. Come on. Cellophane. Whoa. Oh my goodness. These are massive. It's so weird to see a jumbo colored pencil. Wow. So oh my gosh. It's so weird. It's heavy. I don't even know if I can color with this thing. It's just, I've never felt a pencil like it. They are heavy. Not like it doesn't hurt your wrist. Like it fits, it has an ergonomic design, so it's not going to roll on your table. Light gray, does have a color name and number. Gorgeous wood, nice and shiny, not like a rough, scratchy wood. It's like, it's heavy compared to a pencil, but when it's in your hand, I'm not feeling any pressure on my wrist or anything. Just a massive amount of ink, lead in there. Barrel size, absolutely gorgeous. So nice rainbow of colors. Here is a white. So starting here, yeah, we had the black, a couple tones of grays, a few different tones of browns and yellows. That's weird. More yellows here and yellow brown over here. I see like 3 reds, not many purples, 2 pinks and 1 purple, a few blues, more greens than anything, which is great for foliage. Maybe 2 orange-ish coral ones we can try for the pumpkin, for the printable. So yeah, those are gorgeous. So I'm gonna actually just take out these 2 orange ones and we're gonna try to do, that looks more red, permanent red, light orange. Yeah, I mean, I just feel the limits of the color palette. It is true. Like, I'm used to having so many options, like hundreds with my colored pencils. For the pumpkin, we can just straight up do, let's see. We can just straight up do maybe a little of these 2 colors and kind of see what happens. First thing we're going to do is try to sharpen them. We're going to do this first. It's like they look sharp, but not sharp because they're so wide. So they're such a perfect tip. I wonder if we should try it first and then try the sharpener. Let's do that first. I'm going to try this one. This is considered a chromium yellow. Interesting. I need a test page here really quickly because I want to just test the shade. Yeah, okay. Sometimes you see the colors do look similar to what the barrel looks like. This is a little more yellow than the barrel looks like. So I'm going to start with the orange here. And I'm just going to start coloring over some of the darker scaled sepia. Oh, this is so odd. Feels weird. Like, it's kind of fun, like in a weird way. So I just have to remember to hold it very loosely and move it more with your fingers, but keep your wrists still. Oh, it does. The strokes are so much bigger. Like I'm covering surface way faster than when I would do it with a normal colored pencil. So you can get results quicker. That's really interesting. Let's do some up here. I'm barely touching this paper too. It's going on very easily. It's not feeling very waxy to me, but we have to try the other papers. It feels smooth but dry, if that makes sense. I'm not seeing any crumble. I'm just gonna kind of go back over. Let's see if we can layer and get this orange a little darker. Nice and feathery. And then we're going to try this on the Amazon paper. We'll try it with a couple of different colors. Let's get some of this. So I'm putting a little more pressure now. The thing too, if you're the kind of person that gets hand cramps from colored pencils, it is like a muscle you have to tone. So the more you color colored pencils, the more that'll go away. You won't notice that. I'm going to try this one. It looks like a mustard here, like a Dijon mustard, and like a yellow cheap mustard here. But the color came out like this here. So I would say follow the barrel. I'm sorry, the barrel, the end of the pencil color instead of the tip color. If you look, they're not even close to being the same. So I'm just going to put in some yellow. Let's see if we can go over it, if it blends very well. I am getting kind of a vibe of like using a marker. That's why I love markers, because you can cover a lot of surface quickly and it doesn't take all day or 3 days to do one picture. I'm covering a lot of space quickly. I'm getting a nice blend here. I will zoom in and show you. I'm going to get this orange and try to do, and this is without sharpening them, the quality and shape of the tips, how they come in the package, but I'm going to sharpen them in a minute. We will test out the sharpening. So I'm putting in a little more orange down here at the base. It does take a harder pressure or a lighter pressure. And I'm doing this a little quickly so you can get through this vid. I'm going to go in with some of this yellow, a little harder pressure, and see if we can make it waxy like a Prismacolor. I'm really going in hard now. Ugh. This will cramp your hand because you're not, okay, you do get crumble when you really get in there, but that's not something you would normally do. Oh, that's really interesting. So it is waxy. You just can't tell until you really get in there with that pressure. Now it's feeling very buttery. So it felt light like an oil pencil and dry when I was doing the light pressure. But when you do the hard pressure, you feel like you're getting Prismacolor type results. Look at that. This is from very hard pressure. I actually need to get, I'm going to zoom in, and then I need my little crumb brush. Always use a makeup brush, not your hand, because you'll smear it right over something else. Here's those colors. I did the orange and the yellow. It feels shiny and buttery. Now, you don't see a lot of bloom, though. That looks really good. I love it. That looks really nice. Let's do one more area, and then we're going to go into the Amazon. Look, I'm actually going to show you those other two books. Actually, I've already done a flip through before of my Nocturnes, but I'm going to show you the Cozy Autumn book. I was gonna do a page in next. I'm just really rustically, in a quicker manner, just kind of getting this down here, just for the purpose of quick results for the video. Like, some people think they don't like colored pencil because they just have to spend all day on it and go in layers and use these feather touches. If you have really good pencils like this, you don't have to. You can just get in there and get it done quickly. So then we still haven't sharpened them. It's getting a little dull, so we'll do that next. But I want to get in here with some of this yellow. It feels a little strange, like blocky. Not sure how to describe it, the blocky feeling. I can't wait to finish this whole picture, you guys, so you can see it. So I'm just getting that in there really quickly, some of that yellow. And then I'm going to go back to the orange and kind of layering the two with more of the yellow in the center. And around kind of the edges and where some of that sepia darker areas are. My hand is cramping a little, but that's okay because it's really just like when you're working your calves and doing toe lifts and going to the gym, because you have to get those muscles equipped. Now I'm going a little lighter now. Not lighter, but broad strokes. It said good for broad strokes. So let's do broad strokes. Oh, I love it. It really just, the colors, and it, oh my gosh, it looks like very natural. Like this pumpkin is turning out to look like a natural, uneven toned, naturally grown pumpkin. Look at that. Look how quick I did that. And this is a very big pumpkin. Oh, I really love it. This looks so nice. And it didn't take all day to get it on there. Oh, love it. Okay, let's move on to the Cozy Autumn by Sally Berry. Love this book. Very inexpensive, I believe, but unique. There are some images in here that you just don't see elsewhere. This is the one I think we're gonna do. It's either this one or I like this one too, but it looks more like a spring picture with the rain. Great for Thanksgiving here. More pumpkins. I thought this book was very unique. I love this one, like a New England autumn, small town shopping day. Very tempted to do that one. I love this one too. Maybe we should do this one. We could test some browns out on that wood chair. That's pretty too. Test page. So I think we should do, that's cute though. I think we'll do this one. To break this spine, I want to try a few browns on that wood chair. And maybe even, there are only like 2 to 3 browns potentially. We can try different shades. And we could also do, there's a tomato. Let's do a little bit of red. See if we can do a tomato. First, it's time to try to sharpen. So, as I promised, this is hole big enough for a mega pencil. Let's sharpen this yellow one we were using and find out. Oh dear. It's sitting in there. I think that goes in very carefully. You gently push and then it'll sharpen and know when to stop. Wow. It did. It took down a lot more of the lead there. Yeah, that's almost, how much did the pencil go down? Yeah, see, it went down quite a lot. Well, it took the paper down, or the wood down. So it works. Look how sharp this is. Just not sure it's meant for that sharpener, but it does work. But I do use that for my smaller ones. But let's try the Cume on the other one, because we want to only sharpen the tip. We don't want to strip down so much. So I'm going to, I have nothing to put this on. It does fit in the hole. Very gently. I'm going to sharpen. Yeah, that looks nicely. This is an amazing pencil sharpener. It is just brilliant. So this one is keep making the tip pointier and not reducing the wood down, which I like as much as the electric one. Different. There is a mega pencil sharpener that is recommended by CretaColor, which is on, they do link it on the product page, but I think either the ones I have are going to suffice just fine. So we're going to do a little bit of a tomato. There's one up here. Or is that an apple? I think it's an apple. Let's do a little red, and then we're going to do some of those browns. So this is the permanent red dark and the permanent red light. I'm going to try to blend, and these are non-sharpened other than how they came. We're testing out the Amazon paper now. I'm going very light. You don't have to blend. You can just do single colors. Interesting. It's going on nice and feathery, kind of like a Prismacolor. I'm doing it much lighter than I did on the Etsy paper. I'm going to blend in this light red. So right now it's looking a little more like there's a lot of tooth still showing. This one has a little more orange in it. I do generally prefer markers in my Amazon books. I like to save colored pencils for the really good papers and printables and things. And I'm going to deepen the color on this side. And then I'm going to go back in with this red. Do it darker in the center. Yeah, it just blends in really nice and covers, the colors are covering each other up really nicely. That's fantastic. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Doesn't go on quite as natural, I don't know, as that Nina paper, but it's doing the job just fine. So I will zoom in to show this to you here. Did that apple, blended two reds, nice coverage, nice thick color, no problem at all. Got it done really quickly because again, these are big pencils. Probably you don't want to use these pencils with narrow things like a leaf stem, because you might go over because the tips are very wide. So from these three browns, again, we're going to look at the barrel color. It's indicated that this is the darkest, and this one has more of a yellow tint. So I think I'm just going to play straight up with the color, starting with the darkest one, which is a chestnut brown. And we're going to do one of these chair panels, assuming this is the gap in it. So I'm just gonna do long broad strokes, not moving my wrist, only moving my fingers. You can see, look how quickly you can cover surface area with these pencils. Really nice. I'm going to blend the other browns, and we're going to get kind of like a multi-toned wood, I think. All right, let's go into this one that has a little more like of a red in it. This is called English red, but it's a brownish red, so it's probably like an English saddle. Yeah, it really is. That's nice. And I'm just gonna kind of layer these colors and bring them different colors into the different white areas. Yeah, it's a little bit harder to get up next to the line without going over because it's a broad. And so these pencils feel effortless. Like I'm getting all this covered real quick and I'm not doing very much at all. These are really fun. If you are an adult colorist or you have a daughter or a grandchild or friend who likes art supplies, I think this would be a fantastic holiday gift because it's unique, right? It's not just another set of colored pencils. It's something they maybe haven't done or tried. So I'm going to do this brown again, and then we're going to bring that kind of golden. I'm going over with some of this darker brown again. It's layering nicely. But yeah, 60 bucks for a gorgeous set of European, or aka Austrian, jumbo size, nice quality wood colored pencils would be a fantastic gift to anyone in your life who is an artist or a colorist. I'm going to go in with this yellow, which is, it's an ochre dark. So it looks more brownish here, but it looks a little yellowish brown here. And we're going to do a little darker layer. Now this isn't quite as brown as you might expect for a wood chair, but I wanted to be able to test these different colors with you. Really needs more brown. It's a nice autumny color. It's really pretty. Nice autumny color. Just get a little of that yellow in there. And then we're going to go back in with the brown. Then I'll try it on the 70 East Books Nocturnes paper. I'm going to go back to the dark and get some more brown in here. We're going to increase the pressure. Fill in some more of that white tooth. And it's still layering. It's still taking the colors. Oh, look at that. Definitely need to work it here a little if you want to go in darker quickly. Now let's do this in the center where we started. And you can just, if you have a big hand or a good sized hand, just big strokes. Get that color down. And is my hand tired? Yes, it is. But I don't use pencils that often. So I think we need to get that, maybe that English red in there. And finish off making it darker. There we go. We're going to just cover the rest of this tooth up. I'm really just punching it there. Ooh. You do not need to go so quickly. That is just for camera speed. I'm just showing you when you really get in there and pressure it, you can get nice, silky, waxy coverage. And I don't see many crumbs. I mean, there's a couple. It's not many. I'm curious how this will work in the Nocturnes paper. Almost done. I think we about got it here. And I'm going to go back in with that yellow. So you see I'm just kind of rotating the colors. So the wood looks like it has different shades and gradients and no particular pattern, which is kind of how wood naturally looks. All the swirls and tints. All right. I'm going to zoom in if you'd like to see how this looks. It looks really nice up close. I think I got a good majority of it. It is taking a little extra work. All right. Whew. That is gorgeous. So here you can see how that turned out. And nice and waxy. This is the Amazon paper. It took the color just fine. I got all the tooth covered. I did like 2 or 3 layers of the 3 colors, light, building, and then just went in real hard and dark for the final layer there. So it does well on the Amazon paper like that. No problems at all. We are next going to do a quick test on the gorgeous Nocturnes. I have a fall one picked out here, which is the owl, kind of Renaissance, medieval time period. And what can we try on here? Totally different paper than the Amazon or the Nina paper. I don't know what's used. These books are produced by the author. You can buy this on 70 East Books. We could try a leaf. They're kind of small. We're better off with a surface area. We could do her sleeve. Let's see what kind of colors would be good for this picture that we can find. Oh, gorgeous Renaissance gown. I'd love to see some blues. You want to try some blues? Oh, there's pink. Oh, and there's reds. We're doing autumn colors. I think we should do, I'll do a blue sleeve for the underneath. Let's do, here's a gorgeous ultramarine, a Prussian blue, and a indigo, and even, what is this? Delft blue. Well, let's just see what happens. I hate experimenting on very expensive books that I don't have duplicate pages of, so we have to really hope that this turns out. I'm going to start with the proposed darkest by looking by barrel shape. It's almost always going to be the indigo blue. I think the ultramarine, though, is the next darkest. I like to line them up in darkest to lightest if I have multiple shades. Looking at the barrels, it's misleading because if you look here, this looks darker than this one, but if you flip it over, this one looks darker. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick little test to make sure I have it from darkest to lightest. So this one looks darker at the base, the ultramarine. It's really pretty. This one is the Prussian blue. Yeah, and I was right. So you really want to follow the color of the base of the end here. And again, for example, here's the indigo. Really close, which is darker though. I'm actually going to put the ultramarine first and line it up that way. Okay, so we're going to start with the darkest. I'm going to start with the ultramarine. Oh, do I want to do her? I was afraid of messing up such gorgeous books. I think we're just going to go in and do this part of her beautiful cloak part in these shades of blues. Let's just get in with this ultramarine and do some of the pencil sketch darker areas. Oh, okay, interesting. It feels to go lighter on here. It feels almost like a little sticky on the paper, if that makes sense. So far, let's see. So far, the paper I like the best were my Nina Amazon printed paper. I will link below the paper I showed you that I use for all my printables, the coloring books, and the pencil sharpeners, and these pencils. But this is me going very light. Just kind of putting down the color where I see the darker pencil sketch. It does feel... I'm not, you know... I don't feel like it's really any that different. The papers that the pencils are going on in this case. I think it's working for all of the papers. This one feels a little it's kind of weird, yeah, like more like sticky. It's hard to, I don't even know how to describe that. Sticking to the paper more, tacky. The Nina paper was nice and smooth and buttery, and the Amazon paper, you had to work a little harder. It felt a little more dry on it, but it gave it a good coverage. So I'm just did some of those darker shaded parts of her cloak. Okay, so let's go into the next color. We're going darkest to lightest, and the next down is the indigo, which was pretty close. It's a pretty tough choice. The ultramarine has a little more purple in it, and I'm just going to kind of start blending around where I did that dark one. Around and over the area I already did. I'm going to kind of like combine the two colors. These long kind of medium pressure. I'm doing medium pressure, not hard, not too light. I'm going to go up kind of over the color that's already here. Put in a little indigo on its own. Do some of this border here. Oddly enough, I am just not a huge colored pencil fan. I have probably about 20 colored pencil sets, the best ones you could buy. But I just gravitate time and time again to my markers. I don't know why I do that. I just love my Ohuhus, my Cobics, my Prismacolor Premiers, my Tombos. I do use pencils more than things like gel pens. All right, this one though gives a nice easy coverage. So again, we're gonna go with one lower. This is the Prussian blue. And I'm gonna leave some white light areas in the center for my lightest blue, but I'm gonna start going over some of these other, it's fine though, because I'm gonna do the sky in a pretty grayish blue. So if you went over a little, that's fine, or just do this so that doesn't happen. Okay. They are, again, wider tips, so staying in the lines could be a little more challenging. It would be cool if I can do this whole picture, you guys, in these pencils, and then show you in what I did in this November video, all my color pages, what this complete page is going to look like. Maybe I'll do that with all 3 of the ones I started in this video, so you can see the final results. So please subscribe if you've made it this far, so you don't miss the what I colored in November 2022 video. So I'm just trying to build a kind of a natural mixed blues here. All right. I'm gonna then come in with the lightest blue, which is the Delft blue. And I'm going to just start getting it in here in the lightest areas first. And work it in. Oh, that's a pretty blue. Look at that. That's a nice one. It's thicker and richer than I thought. It's actually covering some of the darker blues, which is interesting. Let's just, I'm gonna go back in with my first ultramarine blue, the original one. All right, but you can just kind of see how I take multiple shades and just go over and over and over in sort of a strategic but also like nonsensical pattern, because I want things to look natural. But yeah, these are on this paper, it looks way more waxy. Like it's almost like a crayon. So yes, all the papers I've tried does take the medium. They feels different. It looks a little different on each. That's really interesting. We're going down again to the indigo. I'm going to try to get more of these whites filled in. So it's kind of just one of these things where it's going to take a while to build your color. I'm going to keep working this for a while. And then you guys are going to see. Look, I'm just going over and over and over. And it's just taking it. I really want to dig in with another blue here and just start getting the solid color down. I'm going to increase pressure now. Yeah, it's doing more of a waxy bloom on this paper in Nocturnes, which might be like a standard, one of those international, overseas, Etsy, European, maybe coloring book papers that are often used, because I have a ton of Etsy books and they seem a lot like this paper. So yeah, so there we go. Oh, really getting it in there. This is looking nice. I'm gonna zoom in and show you. Just really trying to get that in there. I'm gonna need to sharpen. I could sharpen off camera. I'm gonna sharpen, and then this is the way to get that line done. This looks nice. All right. So that is absolutely gorgeous. Wow, very rich hues. Look at that. Look at that blue. Is that too blurry if I zoom in? Can I zoom in like this way? Let's see. Look at that. Went over a little because again, the white barrel, but that's a gorgeous blue. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. So, okay, well, that is I'm going to continue off camera all of this. And I will show you all these completed pages in my What I Colored in November video, including the one in Cozy Autumn and my pumpkin one. Overall, I am loving these pencils. They're thick, lustrous, easy application. They've worked on all the 3 papers. It covers way faster than a thin pencil, and they're fun, and they're just beautiful barrels. I mean, they're really nice quality wood. They're nice to look at. So if you want to gift this to someone, pick up one of these Cume sharpeners. Make sure you give them the sharpener as well as the stocking stuffer. I will link all of these items below, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video.